Worldwide Programs Director for Semi-HI-TEC U, and I want to thank you for taking some time from the end of the conference to spend it with us. What we're going to talk about today is a unique program called Semi-HI-TEC U. It is our way of addressing the pipeline issue of a lack of students with STEM-related skills coming out of university, and the need that if employers have addressed to us about what they'd like for us to do about it. So along with my colleagues Damon and Dorita, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And being high-tech, there we go. So Semi-HI-TEC U is presented to you by the SEMI Foundation. It's a part of the worldwide global trade association called SEMI. We were formed in 2002, and we support students and high school teachers in the pursuit of creating STEM careers for students. We've been doing it since 2002. And I think the way we'd like to begin is with a very short video clip for you that explains in words from our sponsors and our products, in essence, the high school students, what they get out of it and how it helps to motivate them on an educational path. So we're going to start that video.
Welcome to HI-TEC U, an internationally acclaimed career exploration program for high school students. This industry-driven course focuses on math, science, and engineering, and how they are applied to create the products and services delivered by the high-tech industry. Former Secretary of State Colin Powell met one-on-one with HI-TEC U grads. The world leader considers HI-TEC U essential to America's quest for technology leadership.
But we have very critical needs, and talent is really the key to our success. So the awareness that we can create early in people's high school careers is very important for them developing an interest and passion, and ultimately becoming part of the ecosystem that's vibrant and going to continue to be very important as we go forward.
Technology is a global industry, and that's why we're delivering Semi-HI-TEC U around the world. The United States, Singapore, Korea, Japan, the Netherlands, France, and Austria. The second they sit in their seat, they begin to see the relationship between what they learn in school and how that applies in the workplace.
I actually learned that the stuff we learn in chemistry class can be applied. You find out that you can do stuff with it.
That's the beauty of this high-tech university, because you can actually see science in an industry, in a future profession that they might have.
I already knew I wanted to be an engineer, but after HI-TEC U, I knew that I was going to be an engineer. After seeing the presentations and everything, it fits for me, and that's just what I like to do.
Well, the relevance of the Semi-HI-TEC U is that it gets our students so excited about learning science and math. And then the teachers and the school counselors go back and encourage our students to take STEM classes and the career and technical education coursework.
At Semi-HI-TEC U, we have three desired... So enough of her. You can see from the video that what we're producing is a program that takes students out of the classroom and into an industry setting where they're taught Semi-HI-TEC U models that are hands-on by people who work in industry. So the relevance and the credibility really translates from someone who actually uses those skills. Why do I need to know math? Why do I need to know chemistry? Why is that important? So those are sort of the key components of what HI-TEC U is. It's fun and it's interactive. We do this as a partnership. Obviously, the SEMI Foundation could not do this without our partners in industry. And what they provide is not only the industry setting, in essence, our classroom, but also industry volunteers. So people within the company volunteer to teach a HI-TEC U module in their place of work so students can network with them. Third partner, equally important, is our higher education partner. And those are people, colleges and universities, that invite our students onto their campus so that they can experience what is it like to be in a campus. Many students have never set foot on one. What's it like to talk to a university professor? She's really not that scary. So it provides that face-to-face comfort level and the ability to envision what it would be like to follow an educational pathway through university to a corporation. To date, we've delivered over 186 programs, both to high school students and to their teachers. We have customers in Abu Dhabi, France, Austria, Netherlands, the list goes on and on. We'll be going to Vietnam possibly here soon, and 10 states in the US. So we have 3 goals, and obviously we measure our goals. We have to be very specific about what we're trying to achieve. And our first goal is simply to introduce students to the industry. What are the jobs? What is a chemical engineer? What is a structural engineer? What's a software engineer? What's the difference, right? So what are the jobs out there? Secondly, increase their knowledge of the industry specifically. So now what is the science behind it? What goes on in an IC? Why is chemistry important? How the heck do you use statistics? Or why do they have clean rooms? So kind of a deeper knowledge about the industry. And then very importantly, we're interested now, we've shown them what the careers are. How do I get there? So what are the educational pathways we need to take to achieve that goal? And that's of course where our educational partners come in. Students learn a number of things from HI-TEC U, but I like to say there's really 2 key takeaways. Both of them are things we've learned from our industry partners who say, we get these employees or these future employees who come to us and they're lacking. They're lacking in STEM skills and they're lacking in social skills. Sometimes we can teach the STEM skills, but the social skills, will you please help us on both counts? So we say to our students, the more math, science, technology, and engineering courses you can take in high school, the better prepared you will be for whatever future career you choose, whether it's biomed, nanotechnology, chemistry, and so forth. Secondly, you can be as smart as a whip, but if you cannot share your knowledge, if you cannot work in a team, if you can't problem solve or be a critical thinker, all is lost. So we really need these 2 pieces to help satisfy the needs of the future. We are sure of our success and we're proud of our product because we can prove it. We have some data that shows that we make a short and long-term impact on our students, and we do it by my favorite thing, which is surveys. So who are our customers and what do they say? Most importantly, we did a 5-year longitudinal study last year of the students that graduated semi-HI-TEC U. What was the impact on you, we asked them. And by the way, these surveys were done by phone. We had an amazing response rate, and I think 18% is very high response rate for any survey, but think about the fact we were chasing down teenagers, okay? So we're pretty proud of that, and we got a number of important data points out of that. First of all, we found that 90% of those surveyed were enrolled or have finished a higher education degree, so they're on track to college. Yay. What's better, 71% of those that are currently in college are seeking a degree in a STEM field. So we're on the right track, we've maintained that motivation. But 68%, we're very excited about this, completed their degree in a STEM field. So keep that number in mind when my friend Dorina talks to you later about the broken STEM pipeline, okay? What's the end result? We get out of college, we have a degree, but it's the employers who are saying to us, we need these STEM skills, we need these soft skills. Guess what? 2/3 of HI-TEC U alumni who completed the survey are currently employed, and that's terrific. But again, we have this very high number. 76% of HI-TEC U graduates are working in a STEM field. So we're really proud of that. We feel assured of our product and our impact. We also got some anecdotal information from doing these telephone surveys, and they covered the gamut here, as you can see from the bullet points, but mostly they talked about the importance of meeting an industry person face-to-face, learning how to network, learning how to interview. So talking to some of these students as long as possibly 5 years after the program, that momentum has stayed with them. They're still feeling the impact. So the benefits to our students are measurable. What are the benefits to a corporation or a higher education organization for partnering with us? You can check all the boxes, and they're here. We achieve workforce development goals. We're talking about corporate community, public outreach, customer visibility, all those things you would expect a program like this to accomplish. But we found something interesting we weren't expecting to see and we weren't initially measuring, and that was employers were coming back to us and saying, you know what, following HI-TEC U, we got this spike in employee morale. And what happens is when you as an employer go to one of your lead employees and say, love to have you represent the company to these students, share your knowledge, be a mentor, boy, that person feels really accomplished but acknowledged by their employer. So we hear almost to a company, this is an aftermath of participating in HI-TEC U. What do we ask of you? So obviously we're interested in all of you, whether you are community colleges, universities, or corporate representatives. We'd love to partner with you. So what do we ask? Obviously there's a financial contribution we would like to achieve. We are a 501c6, we are a not-for-profit, and all of our students attend free of charge. So we'd like some help with that bill. A key component I keep going back to is the volunteer support. If we don't have Damon's people volunteering in the classroom, that's a key element we have to maintain. So we're looking for volunteers. Facilities, facility tours, campus tours, and wonderful instructors at higher ed to interface with students and show them just what college life could be like. As an aside, if you guys provide that, we do everything else. It's our job to make it easy. We manage statistics, we manage all the logistics, implementation, training of the employees. We have hundreds of partners, but it's my pleasure today to introduce you to my friend Damon Hare from FEI.
Thank you, Leslie. I have to admit, I'm usually not in front of a group of educators. I'm honored to be here, but a little bit freaked out. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about my involvement in HI-TEC U. So my name is Damon Hare. I'm the Director of Technology at the FEI company. We are up over the hills from here, actually. I can make this really short and just tell you that everything Leslie just said is true. But I'm going to say a little bit more than that. I've been with Sydney HI-TEC U for 6 years now. I volunteer every year and convince all my colleagues to volunteer too. So to give you a little bit of reference point though, I'm going to show you what FEI is all about.
Customers around the globe seek solutions to complex challenges about product quality, manufacturing efficiency, and material properties. They look for deeper understanding of cells and life processes. They seek discoveries. FEI serves these customers in industry and science by providing valuable workflows that take them from sample to answers. Our goal, help them change the world. FEI's portfolio offers imaging and analysis capabilities that accelerate exploration and discovery. Somewhere, a structural biologist is mapping proteins associated with HIV. An electronics engineer is reducing time to market of their next-generation device. A surgeon is using instruments created with new materials discovered by a Nobel Prize winner. And a geologist is viewing the photography of an oil field that had been written off as exhausted. They need answers. We're helping find them, because the answers they find today will change tomorrow for everyone.
I'm inspired to go back to work every time I watch that. So FEI does some really big things around the world, but we do it in a very small way. When people think about small, they usually talk about the human hair. Wow, that's really small. The human hair is huge for us. 75,000 nanometers across, it's huge. We often then work with the semi industry, those folks that we're trying to help with the Sydney HI-TEC U, doing sub-100 nanometer work all the time, now actually sub-10 nanometer work all the And then I love doing this one on the right side here. We do work at sub-nanometer. That's about that image right there. If you count to 2, I'm going to count for you. 1, 2. Your fingernail just grew that long in those 2 seconds. So we do very big things at a very small scale. And although my branding department doesn't like me doing this, I have my own tagline. I say we change the world 1 nanometer at a time. All right, so enough about FEI. Now you kind of know where I'm coming from. So why does FEI, why are we involved in this? Why are we a part of the trifecta here? The bottom line is we're a public trade company, and it's the bottom line. We're all about results. We know that employees who are engaged in their work will deliver more and they'll stick around. And so we want engaged employees. So we do that in many ways. One of them is making sure that we deal with our employees as humans, and we teach a lot of values about respect, teamwork, and other elements like that. Also, that's kind of an internal thing, an external feeling of purpose. Why am I going to work every day? And things like the branding thing you just saw there was kind of neat about how we impact people around the world, but we can also impact people very locally. And the company supports community service and community outreach very actively, and here you see a group of FEI people at a recent Habitat build. And all of these things are very common with the HI-TEC U program. They have the same values, and so we see a strong connection with them for that. Why do we partner with people like HI-TEC or anybody? There's several reasons, but one big one that you'll hear a lot about the STEM pipeline is a future hiring base. There's long-term and short-term from the hiring base, and you'll hear about the long-term from Darina. But in the short term, when we go looking for people, we find people, the best people come through the connections we have. And so you see this kind of iconic thing here, which looks a bit nifty and colorful, but it's real. So the thing is here's an example of working with HI-TEC U where that helped us connect to PCC, it connects us to local universities, it connects us to the Hillsborough Chamber of Commerce. And through those connections, we find people. And this is a real, these are real people here, of course they're real people. In the bottom left are recent interns at FEI that we picked up through these connections. And in fact, 2 of those 4 interns are already employees. So it's all about connecting with these different organizations and people like you. So you might ask, why do I do this? Why have I come back 6 times? And how come I can convince a room full of engineers to teach a bunch of high school students? It's the funnest hour of my year teaching those kids. In fact, I got really lucky this year and got to MC the graduation, so I had 2 awesome hours at work this year. Actually, my job's pretty cool, but it's a lot of fun to work with these students, and I bump into them in the supermarket sometimes, and they still remember my name, and it's a very cool thing. Never been an educator. I can see how neat that must be, being an educator. Let's see. So then, why do I do this? That previous story is about me. It's also about other people. And ultimately, it's about students. I've heard of a handful of real life-changing stories. One of them is actually close to me. Some friends of mine had a daughter who was. This is not her. This is an image to give you a feeling for where she was in her life. She's feeling very disconnected. She didn't feel like she knew what she wanted to do, where she was going. Didn't think that she really had a place to belong. She took the HI-TEC U course, and it changed her life. She spent, so then after that, I kept caught up with her parents, and she totally turned around. She was absolutely connected with her school. She started taking STEM courses because she knew she wanted to be an engineer. She thought it was okay to be a woman an engineer because we have women teaching some of our courses. And she dove in full force with all feet, joined Lego Robotics. This is still not her. I'm protecting her name. But this is who she is now. She's energetic and ready for college. Okay, enough about why FEI is involved. And next is Darina.
the third member of this golden trio that SEMI Foundation is founded on, and I represent, of course, the higher education. I work as an instructor in the microelectronics technology program at Portland Community College, and I would like to continue talking about this wonderful partnership that was founded, started practically more than 10 years ago, and shaped itself into a very effective, complex, STEM-focused annual community event that all the high schools in the region are looking for. Why is my college involved in this? Because of our common goals, SEMI and PCC. The HI-TEC university goals, as Leslie presented before, are mainly to introduce students to the high-tech and semiconductor industry. The equivalent goal for my college is community outreach. The program goal number 2, increase knowledge of microelectronics industry. My college goal would be to promote STEM in high school population. Third, increase knowledge of educational pathways to better prepare students for post-secondary academics. For PCC, recruitment is important and boost enrollment. But above all, I should mention a common goal, not only for higher education, for PCC in particular, and SEMI, but also our industry partner is included in here, and that is to fix the pipeline. Well, this is the leaking STEM pipeline I'm talking about. According to Business and Education org, in 2001, from a total of 4 million ninth graders who started high school, 10 years later, 12 years later, 14, up to 2011, very disappointing number of only 167,000 graduates, college graduates, were ready to start working in the STEM field. So we keep wondering, whose is this problem? Does this belong to the high schools? Not only. Is this higher education problems? No, not only. Is this the industry problem? Not only. So our trio decided that really it is our common problem, is a community problem, a society problem, and we should do something about this. Thus, we have the wonderful partnership that we are talking about here. What is PCC offering to this partnership and to this high-tech university program? We do college orientation. We offer a tour of the campus, library, visit of the library, visit of the solar array, and we show the participants we walk them through all kinds of interesting campus attractions. Next, we offer academic advice. The participants, like it or not, have to listen to presentations offered by academic programs at PCC, like my own program, Microelectronics Technology, Computer Science, Computer Information Systems. And finally, of course, the hands-on activities, which is the most interesting and rewarding part, both for the participants and for the instructors who are hosting the day. A typical day spent on campus looks like this. In the morning, the students are engaged in interesting activities like the human calculator game or the solar meat busters. In the afternoon, they do the already mentioned hands-on activities. This year, we designed a digital glass hour in the computer lab and in the electronics lab using the Arduino boards. Of course, the outcomes of these kind of activities is to introduce them to electric schematic interpretation and understanding, to make them build electric circuits and test them, expose them to programming concepts and to control concepts of automated systems. The day usually ends with a visit of the solar array and of the learning garden. Also, we have a STEM lab that is a big attraction for the HI-TEC university participants. This is the classroom for the day. That is the entrance in the learning garden. This is an image of some experiments that we usually run in the electronics lab. This is the logo of the microelectronics program, empty student working in the vacuum lab, and of course the solar array surrounded by the llamas. This is because Rock Creek, my campus, is the place where HI-TEC and old farming practices do meet. This year, it was for the first time that microelectronics technology program organized and offered a STEM camp to the high school students in the area. And to our big satisfaction and surprise at the same time, some of the STEM participants were STEM camp participants were HI-TEC University alumni. And we were very pleased to see them returning to our campus, being part of this STEM camp. Of course, this is the quadcopter Zippy that was one of the participants, and this is the picture, the first picture taken by Zippy with the participants spelling on the campus ground the key word there, STEM. As you probably noticed, both our presentation and the partnership that we were talking about deal with these questions. Where do we come from? Who are we? What do we do? Well, these questions were for us a good reminder of a interesting science museum of confluences found in Lyon, France. The mission of the museum, which is symbolically located at the confluence of two important rivers in France, is to answer these very same questions at a global level. Well, for us, SEMI Foundation, FEI, PCC, we have to admit this is a struggle to answer these questions. But we keep trying to find solutions, and keep working together, finding ourselves at a confluence of goals, of actions, of understandings, and of responsibilities, of dreams and hopes we all think we have for the new generations of scientists and engineers. With this being said, when it comes to less philosophical remarks, and really it boils down to action, what we really have to do, and what the final goal of this trio is to work together in order to fix the pipeline. Thank you for listening, and if you have any questions, please ask us.